What's up, everybody? Back, season 2, Real with Omar. Today's special guest is somebody who I've been around on the internet. I don't know what you call that, virtually, but never in person. But today we have special guest Ed Stulak here, social media impresario, super New Jersey real estate broker. Ed, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you. I know you drove here a long way, and I really, really appreciate your time.
I appreciate the love that you give me.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
Always can't take it for granted, so I like getting on shows like this. Chatting.
We got it. Listen, we were just on a show together, so you might see the outfits from something else, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're making the most of our opportunities, and I'm a big believer in that. You saw how I jumped out and said, "You want to do my show?" And you're like, "Yeah." So now you've made it. Now you're on my show. Fucking success, bro.
Let's go.
You've done it. You've done it. You're fucking success. All right, so Ed Stulak, New Jersey Realtor. Just to give context, how old are you right now?
27.
27. How long you been a realtor?
About 5 years, 6 years.
So you started at 22?
Around 21, 22, yeah.
Any college?
Went to college, dropped out.
College, you dropped out and then decided to be a realtor?
Got into the social media side of things.
Before a realtor?
So when I got into college, this was 2012 to 14.
Okay.
I was at Penn State.
Okay.
Playing ice hockey, studying pre-med.
Hockey?
Yeah, I'm a big hockey guy.
All right.
So I was studying pre-med, playing hockey. That was pretty much my life.
Right.
Until I got injured. I started failing in
You hurt your leg or something?
sciences, my shoulder.
You shoulder playing hockey? Okay.
Yeah. So, that kind of ended.
Okay.
Set sails for a different direction.
You okay with that? Or it took a minute?
It hurt. It sucked in the beginning.
Because it becomes it's your identity for a long time.
That's
Now being an athlete, that's what all you knew, right?
I popped out of the womb on skates. Like hockey was my life for the long time. And then I got injured, so whatever. I said, all right, that's fine. Let's use this as a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
I was just looking for that blessing for a long time.
Right.
And naturally got into social media on Instagram.
Well,
Facebook,
at your age, at that time, it kind of perfect storm.
That was a very normal thing.
Right.
So I figured, let me take advantage of that now and see how far I can get with it. So then I started really dabbling with that.
So what was the thought process? All right, I like social media. Now you thought, how do I make a business out of it? Or what was the thinking? Because you were young. You were young.
Yeah,
right?
so I wasn't an entrepreneur at that time either. I was just on Instagram scrolling and figuring out that this social media platform, Instagram, specifically speaking at that time, gives a lot of exposure for doing not much.
Right.
How can I take doing not much and scale it to a lot? Right. And so I figured, how can I grow a big following so I can post random pictures, post things, whether it's going to be a product, a service, and advertise it to them for free. So I really had to figure out how to grow that following. So while in that stage of thinking about life, where do I stand? What do I want to do? I started working with influencers, some celebrities, help them with their brands and all that stuff. So I've been in social media for almost a decade.
Well, all right, so let me back you up a little bit. So how did you all right, I want to do social media. So how do you just automatically start working celebrities? Like, how does that work? You just hit them up, say, hey, I can do this for you. You're offering services?
This is all for, it was just giving value, giving for free.
All right.
So I was reaching out to some influencers and some, and when I say influencer, people that had 10,000, 20,000 followers, plus or minus. I saw that they were doing something, but they needed tweaking on content. They needed tweaking on their engagement. They needed tweaking here or there. Their brand wasn't good. Let me come help. Let me give it to you for free. I'm not going to charge you anything. Let me just be under your wing so I can say, look, I'm with this person.
Right.
I
use the association.
Yes, association with social proof.
There you go.
Right. So we were just talking about that before.
Yeah.
Social proof is so important. So I figured if I can stay around those people, I will become influenced by them and become them, if not better.
And become influential. Yeah.
Become influential.
I like that.
So I worked with a small guy and then a little bit bigger. And then from that opportunity came, these were all stepping stones until I got into offices of people that I never thought I would be seeing.
Can you name one or two just to give context to the viewer?
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm going to shout that shit out.
So one of them was Kevin Jonas from Jonas Brothers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I sat down in a big meeting room in his office, and it was just Kevin, like a guy that I've been seeing on TV and his bands and concerts. And I'm seeing him now in person discussing business opportunities, which was so, I was so honored to be in that type of room at that time. So it was from those opportunities. At that point, I was probably maybe 20, maybe 19, 20.
Okay.
And so that didn't last long, but I learned so much from a person like that, a company like that, by an entity that really knows what they're doing in
and they're
social
putting
media.
big dollars behind shit.
Big dollars, which I did not have.
Right.
So I was using someone else's dollar to learn.
Right.
And then I realized, okay, now I want to make money because I wasn't making too much with that, but a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge.
Right.
And then one day I said, you know what? This is all good, fun and games, but it's time for me to do my own thing because I've been doing it for others.
At that moment, how many followers did you have?
I want to say anywhere between like 5,000 to 6,000.
All right, so you had a few. Okay.
A few, because I've been implementing everything to my brand, but I didn't have a brand at that time.
Right.
I was just an entrepreneur on social media, a wantrepreneur.
Right.
I wasn't investing big bucks. I wasn't starting up my own thing.
You were learning.
I was learning.
Right.
And then I said, I want to do my own thing because I see these guys. I want to be that person.
I can do that.
I want to be that person in their shoes, but I want people working for me. I want me working for me.
I want to go up. Yeah, I hear you. You want to elevate. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then what you said, oh, real estate's the way I'm going to do it?
So then one day, I'm a big suit guy. I love suits.
Very nice.
Thank you. Okay. I like it, So I went to a store one day to go pick out a suit because I figured I'm going to go to these meetings. I want to dress the part.
I got to look right. Okay.
Yes. And I saw this one gentleman. He was just kind of going throughout the suits on the rack. And I came up to him. Hey, can you help me find a suit? He said, no, I'm not a guy that works here.
I don't work here. Yeah.
He's like, I'm a realtor. And my name is Ed. I'm like, oh, my name is Ed. And you like suits. And we just hit it off. Yeah. And so he was in a suit and all that stuff. So that got me thinking, that's interesting. Of course, he was trying to get me onto the team and all this stuff. He was recruiting, but I wasn't a realtor at that time. I didn't know what real estate even was.
Right.
So when he said, come to my office, come sit down with me, come meet my broker, come meet people.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I've read this concept somewhere, this mentorship thing. I've read it in a book.
This is familiar.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was at that time when I started reading. Robert Kiyosaki. And I read that book, and he was always saying, look up to mentors, get a mentor. And I never had a mentor. Parents is one thing, but do I want to be where they are? No, I want to do what they're doing much further.
Yeah.
So I need to find a person that's there. So this person sounded like that. Long story short, that was pretty much the day when I said, let me test out real estate and see how far I go.
So you went to meet him?
I went to meet him, met the office, met the broker.
Nice office?
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice. I never ended up going there.
Oh, okay.
Went elsewhere.
Okay.
But point is, I just had to figure out, like, this is the time to go ahead and start making
the world
money.
I want to step into.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so where, if can you say this stuff without getting in trouble? Where did you end up going?
I went to Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, Buffett's spot. Okay.
Yeah, Buffett's spot. So I went to Berkshire Hathaway at first. And it was cool for 3 months.
Right.
And then,
why did you go there?
From people that we knew.
Okay, just people that you knew. Because everybody has a different reason for where they go. Like they say, oh, I go to Keller because, the great training. Or I go to EXP because, I get shares. Everybody has a
Everyone's
thing.
got a different purpose.
Yeah.
So no, mine was just simply my mother knew the person, the broker of the specific brokerage.
Right.
She heard that we're getting our license, so she said
like a hot referral.
Yes,
right.
yes.
Okay.
So we went there for a little bit.
Okay.
And it wasn't, as everything they promised. So I went to another brokerage, and then another one, and then another one. I made 5 switches in my life.
And how much time?
In 5-6 years.
Get the fuck out of here. All right, can I ask you where you're at now?
Yeah, I'm at Real Broker.
Okay, Real Broker. Okay.
Real Broker.
Okay. And what is their thing? I mean, because everybody has a thing.
So just like EXP is, the same model.
Virtual.
That's Real Broker.
Okay.
But it's just a different concept that relates to me much more. The branding. I love the branding, the culture, things of that sort.
Okay.
And it's also giving me just a different future that others wouldn't have been able to give me,
Okay.
I was with Remax, which I loved very much. I'll always love them. I'll always feel like I'm part of Remax, the family.
Right.
I met the CEO. He brought me onto his podcast. Like met the owner. It was nice.
Yeah.
But I need to work on what best is for my future.
Yeah, best for Ed. Yeah,
that's right.
That's a tough part because people always talk about, that's fucked up. And so I'm in the business, right? I have 4 platforms, right? Lending, capital, real estate, and residential's coming. I have residential lending coming. And people always say, hey, man, it's kind of messed up this or that. At the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you because at the end of the day, I mean, you're younger than I am. Like, I have employees, I have family, I have kids. They all depend on you. So you have to make those decisions based for you.
Yes.
And, sometimes, if you were really a good person, you would have stood there and suffered. And I'm like, if I was really a good person, the person I was with wouldn't have me suffering, right? I mean, and it just comes back to, like, I had another friend of mine recently. I had reached out to him. I said, hey, are you working there? Because I want to go there. He was like, it's unrelated. It's a restaurant. He goes, no, I left. And this guy's been at that restaurant for about 30 years. No exaggeration. He's like, look, I can't talk now, but I'll tell you about it later. So anyway, I ended up going to the restaurant anyway, whatever. So later on, we catch up a couple days later. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? What happened? And he was just like, look, it's been 30 years. I feel like I'm undervalued. I got an offer here to make double what I'm making over there. And like he was like, it's a smaller place. It's just they see what I bring to the table. And sometimes people, when they get used to certain people being there, they kind of lose value for them. Like you don't understand what good people are. And I talk about that all the time, about be a good person. And what I mean by that is sometimes you have to be altruistic and give, right? But sometimes you have to be a little selfish and think, yo, what's the best move for me? Because all these people depend on you without you even realizing. And there's a pressure. It's a gift and a curse, because I believe when your why is bigger than you tend to achieve more. Like you'll get up those days, you're like, oh, I'm tired. Be like, fuck it, I got to do this, And it tends to drive you. So hearing you moving around from brokerage to brokerage just tells me that at least when you were younger, or just when you started, you kind of knew, I don't know what I want exactly, but this ain't for me. This ain't it, right? And when you end up leaving, when you tell me I want to leave, was it amicable always? Sometimes were they shitty?
Every time I've done it, sounds weird, but every time I've left my brokerage, I had the initial conversation of, if I leave your brokerage, like, are we cool? Are we okay? Yeah. If it happens, how does it work?
You were giving like a pre-gamer?
Yeah. Like,
yo, before this happens, bro.
If it were to happen, right? I look forward. And so every time it was, no, we're going to be best of friends. We'll be okay. Yeah. We're family. Yeah. And then when it actually does happen, we don't like you. We're done with you.
Don't call me.
It's unfortunate. And as that always happened, no, I do have, I'll give a shout out to one of my past brokers, Gene, and even Angel, people that I've looked up to. They were my mentors, part of Remax. Again, I love Remax.
Right.
They were still cool till today. Cool. It sucked when I had those conversations with them saying, hey, listen, I think it's time for me to go. Did not like any second of it, but I knew it was my stepping stone. This is my future. Please let me do what I think is best for my future. And if it ends up, it's not good, I will tell you and I'll admit that I messed up.
And I'll come back.
If it's okay with you. And if it's not, that's okay. I'll find another home. So I know what my personal brand, what my value, just like the gentleman you're speaking of, I know what my value is. So I need to make sure I am going to continue moving forward with people that believe in that. If you believe in what I believe in as much as I believe in it, we can work together.
Right. Okay. So you're at your last brokerage. At what point, so you were in social media before you were in real estate, which is kind of a different segue in, because most people actually they're in their profession. Like I'm in my profession. I'll just give you a little background. So I'm in my profession since 2005. So yeah, that long. And 2008, 19, I started thinking, I went the other way where I would run like nonprofit chapters and stuff like networking stuff. But honestly, I didn't feel it to be really effective. No offense to anybody, but I just felt that I created more real relationships with people during a transaction. Like, let's say you're a realtor, I'm the lender on the deal, and look, and I'm painted any way, but without the money, there's no deal. So unless your client's cash, you need a lender, right? So I felt that I made more relationships this way. So I'm really good at structuring loans. So I had to figure out, how can I be out there talking to people while I'm in here doing my job? And my job is kind of boring. I mean, for the nerds of it that would like to learn the tricks, like I'll have my lesson, or what do you call that? My ebook coming soon about, how to do loans. But most people don't care about that. They just want to know the end. Hey, are we clear to close? Right? That's all they want to know about. So so that's when I got into social media as a way of trying to just to keep myself relevant while I'm working, because the thing is, you can't happily coexist unless you're like some sort of celebrity on a TV show that your job is the TV show, right? So that's how kind of I got into it. And it's been a journey. I've only been doing it for 2 years. And I'm meeting a lot of different people. You start getting recognized in the street. That's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, I believe it does a lot of work for you while you can actually do the work that pays for it all. And going back to what my statement is going to be, is that I think people that are in the game now, kind of coming into it, you saw social media as a business prospect, right? And other people think it's just that what they're doing on social media is going to get them all the business. And my thing is, no, doing good business gets you good business. Being on social media maybe exposes you to different people you wouldn't be exposed to, and also keeps you in contact with the 100, 200, 300, 400 clients you've accumulated over your career, because you can't possibly call all those guys when like a rate drops or the market's hot, you want to sell your house. Like, you can't call those people in one day. So
it's much better to post one picture in a few minutes versus call all those people in a few hours.
Well, there you go. So then my question to you is that you go into social media, you're ahead of the curve, right? But like the broker's a little older than you, right? And so you told me a story about a guy who had a typewriter in his office, and you're going in there with your cameras trying to say, I'm gonna document this, and there was friction. So tell me about the friction. Like what was the initial for you? Like
that was 3 brokerages ago.
Okay.
It was a small little mom and pop shop, but they taught me the fundamental elements of real estate: door knocking, cold calling, FSBOs, expireds, do this, do that, postcards and mailers. Cool.
The old traditional way.
Traditional, yes. I needed to know that at one point or another in my life, so I'm happy I learned it from them.
Okay.
But again, it was a little mom and pop shop. Their exposure wasn't to the caliber that I know I could be at and will be at one day. I needed to be with that type of agency, that company, that
would
vision.
Support you. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that like I can align with, parallel. At that time, I thought I was parallel with this company. It was new. I was the youngest there. I was a little savvier than most.
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Yeah, I got Rookie of the year my first year. That was great. Yeah. And then one day came in with my crew, brought the equipment and all the fun stuff. Right. And my broker just looked at me and took his glasses off and was like, "What's that? What's that?"
Here? Yeah.
And it's my crew. We're about to go film. And he just waved his hands like, "That's never gonna work."
Okay.
And it sucked because I knew, no, it has to work. There's no way it's not going to. This is new. This is the modern way. Right. I took all your lessons, man. I took them. I took the old ways, but you got to adapt.
I'm applying the new thought.
You gotta. So when he said that, I thought, okay, well, the broker, the person that is in charge of this whole company, doesn't believe in what I believe in.
Yeah.
Time to
go. To realign myself.
Time to go. Somewhere else.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Okay.
Again, it was a stepping stone.
It was just on that day? Like that day you
That
decided?
was the day I was like, okay, I think I'm going to start to slowly go elsewhere now.
Integrate yourself somewhere else. Okay.
And that's when, my Remax broker reached out to me, saw everything I'm doing on social
Loved
media.
It.
They paid me for my first consultation. He reached out to me and was like, hey, listen, I see everything you're doing. Would love to, can you teach me this stuff? I said, yeah, I would love to. And this was the Gene Krutansky. And he reached out on Facebook, Facebook Messenger, said, can you teach me this stuff? And I said, yes. He said, how much? I said, I don't know. never thought
I haven't gotten this far.
I was like, I charge 150. He's like, yeah, that's good. No way.
Yeah.
For teaching everything I know,
yeah.
$150, let's do it. So I went to his office, sat down with him. Never thought I was gonna be pitched or anything like that. I was like, oh, he sees my value.
Yeah, he needs me.
He wrote a check, no problem. I was there for 4 hours at his office, teaching him every single thing I know. And it was really that day that I realized if he needs to know this stuff, a very successful entity like him that owns a brokerage, I don't even know, at that time he had 50 plus agents at his office. If a person like that needs my value, I know many others do too.
Okay.
It was that day that I said, I need to come up with some sort of training, coaching. I need to become a strategist in some way to help others with their social medias too.
Okay.
I knew realtors needed more lenders, title,
everybody.
I met attorneys. I teach doctors. I teach mechanics. It's funny.
So let's talk about that. So tell me exactly what that is. You're teaching people. You're not an ad agency, right? So you're a strategist.
Brand strategist. I help realtors come up with a brand to help it be exposed on social media. Okay. And I teach them the tips, the strategies, the hacks that I've come up with. Right. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. I'll teach you how to get that exposure with as cost efficiently as possible. Build a brand that matters to you and your audience, and let's help it grow online. Okay. So that's what I teach realtors. So I have a company called IGRE. Okay. And I have a course. I'm writing a book right now. Okay. So everything is going to be out there teaching realtors how to build a brand and an online presence that matters.
Okay. And it'll be IGRE.com? They can go through that now?
IGREcoaching.com.
Right now. So basically coaching.
Yep.
Right? Okay, cool. So do you feel that business is more lucrative or just more fun for you than just being a real estate broker?
It's fun. It's fun. I love that stuff. I love teaching. I love educating. I love putting a smile on people's faces. I love also putting value in their heads.
Right.
Do this. This is good knowledge that's going to help you grow. I enjoy doing that very much. Every time I speak, I just came back from Orlando a week ago, and
tell me about that. What was that?
I went to train at an event called RE Bar Camp. Okay. Which was really neat. Okay. Just a bunch of realtors getting together from Florida and wanting to learn about whatever it is that's going to help them scale their business.
So you had a few speakers there?
Yep. There was a few. I was one of them talking about social media and branding specifically.
Okay.
So that's what I talk about. That's what I specialize in. That's what I can talk about 24 hours a day.
Okay. So that's what we're going to focus our conversations on. The one thing I will say about the things that I know of, which, you know, you probably dwarf them because that's what you do all the time, is that because people ask me all the time, hey, Omar, how you do this? Well, I tell them, yo, this is what I'm doing. Or this is what I did, and I give it to them, but the execution's not there. That's what I see a lot of. Most 90% of the people I talk to.
Of course.
I want to grow, you know, I want to grow followers too. I'm like, well, every day. Yeah. Every day. You tired? It's like a workout. I told them, you don't miss an appointment with your boss, right? Every day, you just got to put it out, post, do it. And sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't, but it doesn't matter. You got to do it. But that's because some people they feel like, you know, oh, Ed got lucky, he got into the business when it was early or something like that. But they don't understand that it takes a discipline and it takes commitment every day to do something every day, even if you don't feel like it, even with the world's on fire, right? Other business, something's wrong, but you have to do it every day. And I think that's what most people are missing. You know, like when you have clients, they'll be like, oh, I have to do this. And you tell them, yeah, you have to do this every day. So like, what's the response with that?
I come back to the simple thing of passion. If you don't have passion for it, don't really start it. You know, there's no reason for you to be editing your own videos if you don't like it or you're not good at it. Hire someone to do it for you. Delegate that. The one book that I read, 4 Hour Work Week, changed my life. Changed my business. Tim Ferriss. Okay. 4 Hour Work Week. Long story short.
Encapsulated.
Yes, I'll summarize it for the viewers and listeners. But if you cannot do something yourself, automate it. Right. If you cannot automate it, delegate it. And if you cannot delegate it, eliminate it. Okay. That is the 4 Hour Work Week. And that taught me so much to restructure my business and my pursuits towards what I want in life. I am very good with social media. I am very good with content creation. I'm very good at that stuff. I suck at accounting. I suck when it comes to fixing things. I suck when it comes to that stuff. Right. I'm delegating that, or if I can, automate it.
Or eliminate it.
Or eliminate it. Yeah. I'm going to get it out. So that going back to if someone says, you know, well, what do I have to do? How do I be consistent?
Well, because here's the conundrum, right? You're a coach, right? People have to be coachable. That's a thing that people want. They can pay you $20,000 a month. It doesn't matter. If they're not going to execute what you're saying. It's like, personal trainers. I got a trainer. I train 4 times a week. Yeah, bro, but you eat McDonald's 4 times a week too. I was like, yo, bro, it's not gonna happen for you. You know what I'm saying?
You don't truly want it. Yeah, it comes back down to passion. Right. I personally do not like the gym. I don't like it. I don't want to go. I love hockey. Right. I will play hockey 13 times a week if I possibly can. Right.
So that's your exercise.
That is my exercise. That is the way I am going to exercise. Don't put me in a gym. Can I afford a personal trainer? Sure, I can. I don't want to make that investment. I don't want to. I'd rather spend it on something else that I do want. Yeah. So if you don't like social media, I'm not going to put a gun to your head and say, do it. You're not going to want to do it. Right. Instead, if you're good at door knocking, door knock. Go door knocking. And here's 5 different ways to go about it creatively.
And the old school ways still work.
They do work. I still do that stuff. Oh, okay. I cold call. I door knock. I just went door knocking this past Sunday. Like 3 people that are looking possibly selling in the near future.
I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, look, social media is a supplement. It's not the main ingredient. Like for me, I said, look, I do that and it's cool. My main ingredient, honestly, is referrals from the existing clients. Because if you give good service, they want people to get that same experience, right?
Of course.
The client experience. But social media helps me keep in contact with all my clients a lot faster because, drive yourself fucking crazy trying to call people.
Yeah, of course. So let me ask you, what is your one best way to actually ask your clients for a referral? Is there a strategy? Is there
no, I don't know. Yo, you happy? Yeah. All right. So we got it done, man. Anybody else needs my help? You know my number. That's just that. Cool. And what I do is, and where a lot of people don't. Well, I don't want to speak for a lot of people. I'll speak for myself. What I do is different. Like, let's say the first timer, like they don't have any idea, and I'm not gonna get into the socioeconomics and discrimination. I'm not gonna get into that part, but I'll say that. You'd be so surprised at how certain people think they don't qualify because of shit they've seen or heard from other people. But I'm like, you have to understand, life is custom. Life is individual. You might qualify, right? Your mother left you a dividend or an annuity. That's your income. Like, I'm not trying to get into the super specifics of it, but every story is different, right? So what I do is I give people I give them an hour consult. And I tell them, look, you're not ready today. if you want to be ready, this is what I would do. And if you do it, then hit me up in 45 days and we'll pick an appointment on the calendar. And that's kind of what I do a lot of. I you know, like if they're ready to go, they're ready to go. Usually I get a lot of turndowns. Like some other banker shit the bed and they're like, yo, I'm gonna lose my down payment. I had a client in January was gonna lose $350,000 because the banker is a $1.7 million condo. The banker is just kind of leading him on. At the end, he's like, yeah, he said I don't qualify. So the attorney who knows me called me, oh, look, we got a fucking problem. You know, I'm gonna fucking litigate or we're gonna get this done. So I was like, let me talk to the client. I looked at his tax return. I was like, yeah, you don't qualify. You got to go state it. You don't qualify. He's a self-employed guy, makes a lot of cash, a lot of money coming through the accounts, but his tax returns didn't show it. I was like, I said, that rate that he was just selling you a dream. That's not going to happen. We can do this one, though. We can this and definitely I can do this. And the client was like, look, at this point, just get it done, right? And that's usually kind of my story. Like, I'll get the call, yo, we have a problem. But the other ones, the ones that take time, you know, sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. And that's okay. It is what it is.
You're a problem solver, and all the real estate professionals, not just anyone, and anyone out there really, like you want to be known, you want your reputation to grow more and more and make it be the go-to person. Problem solving is so key to that whole equation. You got to be the problem solver. You were a solution to that, and I guarantee that person is now throwing your name out left and right.
Of course, especially to the money, the money game, because the money game changes all the time, right? Like the pandemic came, certain investors, they shut down the same day. I had like 20 loans, they're gone. Oh, we don't do those anymore. Oh, but it was yesterday. We don't do those anymore. And you have to pivot. You have to kind of figure it out for the clients, because I mean, you're having issues right now. Like right now after the hurricane, you can have Fannie and Freddie come back and say, hey man, we want to do a reinspection, make sure the property's okay. And you know, from a clear to close to reinspection, it's just not the same feeling.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's not the same feeling. You're like, yo, I thought this was done. No, we start again.
You never know.
Yeah, but that's the money game. The money game is always changing. And because I went through 2008, which was the meltdown, which was the worst. Oh yeah, I went through all that. So that's kind of where I was learning. So if you learn in that time, all this shit, you know, like when the pandemic hit, I just had to, I had to identify what money sources were still going. And then I pivoted my marketing to that. That was it.
Adapting.
Yeah.
We were talking about before, adapt to what works.
Yeah, exactly. So going back to you, you have two businesses. You have a coaching business and a real estate business.
Yes.
Right? The coaching business sounds like it's your passion. All right, but you're doing well in the real estate business.
Both are definitely a passion,
okay,
for sure. I enjoy going out. I have tours today. I have showings today. I have a listing appointment later on. I have a final walkthrough, which should be closing tomorrow. I guess not after this hurricane. You know, I have all this thing set up, and I'm ready for it. I enjoy it very much, and especially now that I came across a new project just in 2020. New development.
Okay.
These developers reached out to me online on Instagram.
Very nice.
Said, we see what you're doing. You can give us the exposure we're looking for our new project. I said, what is your new project?
Right.
They said 180 unit building. I said, oh shit. I've never done that before.
Ready. Yeah.
I've never done it.
And what's the price point per unit? Like from what to
These
what?
are all rentals.
Oh, just rentals. Okay.
So rentals starting at 2,000, 2,200 and going up to almost 3,000.
Right.
So I kind of took this as a new opportunity to try a new aspect and a new avenue of real estate that I never really knew existed.
Okay.
And since then, I'm in love with real estate again.
Really? Okay.
I fell in love with it one more time.
Okay.
And same thing with social media, real estate, social media and branding, helping real estate professionals with that side of things is definitely another passion. I think about it all the time. I'm always coming up with content and ideas and how to get more out there and help teach more people, more real estate professionals about this stuff because it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say definitely both hold an equal love. And I want to do it every day. Again, going back to what you were talking about, what do you think about? You wake up, what's the first thing you think about? You open up your phone, you see, oh, my head goes straight towards real estate, branding, social media. Right. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're lucky that you're so young and you identified your passion so quickly. I didn't know about the lending game until I was recruited. I actually had another business. I had a liquor store in the South Bronx, and I ended up, a lot of these guys know the story. My little cousin worked at a bank in Long Island. This is 05, 06. And he was in the closing department, and he became really cool with the owner. And the owner's a Jewish guy. Shout out to Ira, we're still friends. And he was originally from the Bronx, and he wanted to reinvest in the Bronx. And my cousin was like, "Oh, you got to talk to my cousin. Oh, my, he could do that." And he's like, "Is he a real estate agent?" He's like, "No, but he could do anything." He's like kind of selling me. He could do whatever you fucking need. Just go meet him. So he was interested. He drives down on a Sunday. I remember this. And he walks into my office. My store. And 159 and 3rd is heavily black and brown. So when a white Jewish guy walks in your office, your store, you're like, what the fuck? Like, yo, can I help you? So he's like, I wanted to meet you. We have a conversation. He was like, look, this is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to reinvest my monies in the Bronx, right? He says, find me things with good prices, opportunities. I'll buy them, and I'll pay you a 6% commission. So I didn't know this was real estate commission. I didn't know any of that shit. So I was like, okay. So I was like, so anything? He goes, no limit. Whatever you find, if it's a good deal for me, I'll buy it. I'll pay you 6%. So I'm thinking, damn, bro, like 6%, $1 million is a lot of money. So I'm like, oh, bet. So I, like a week or two later, I find a building. This guy from down south, he had let it go and just didn't want to deal with it anymore. He might lose his taxes. So we ended up doing that deal. I got paid. And then I found another one, kind of the same situation, and I got paid. And so he called me to his office one day. I go to the bank in Long Island, and he's like, listen, I like you. We're doing business, so I'm a real dude, right? So he goes, how much do you make at the store? So I was like, well, I make like 120, whatever. Like I forgot the number, but it was okay. I was 26, 27 at the time, your age. He goes, you'll make 5 times that here, but you have to come here and learn this. He's like, you could do it part-time, he says, but you're kind of jerking off. You're like, yo, get here. He's like, somebody like you'll fucking kill it. So I made that decision like in September. I was like, all right. I had my sister working at the store. I got another employee. I left the store running. I was paying, just so people understand, I grabbed another employee because my interest was peaked, and I made money. I put them there to run the existing business. So I was paying to learn, and I took my ass over there with no training. And he introduced me to my sales manager at the time, just to use that, and the sales manager was like, yo, nice to meet you, bro. All right, here's a phone. Here's a list of numbers. Go crazy. I was like, what I do? He goes, just ask them if they want to do a loan. That was my training. So I started on the phone. Back then, anybody qualified. Like, there was always equity. There's everything. You need money. They were financing closing costs. It was crazy. 108 financing, if you know what that is, like no money down, closing costs, everything built in. So it was just a numbers game. You'd be on the phone. I got on the phone. So I did a few deals. So from that September to December, in January, I got my W-2s, and I looked at my store. What I made for the year was like 100 something, like net after everything. And with no, actually, that was the profit. And then I had to pay employees and stuff. So I didn't really make anything. And then at the bank for 3 months, I made like 100 something. So I was like, yo, 4 times that is like $500,000. Like, I'm out. So I told everybody, look, find other jobs. I'm shutting this shit down. And I liquidated my business. I didn't even sell it. I didn't know fucking, successful exit. No, I just shut that shit down. I just sold everything. And I was out. And that's when I started. I started doing that for a few years. And then 08 came, 09, it got really bad. This is before your time, and everybody's losing everything. Yeah. So then I started getting into non-QM lending, which is like not qualified mortgage, not Freddie Fannie, not FHA, like private money and just other alternative lending. And I became really good in that. And the commercial world, I became known in the commercial world before social media and all that. So people were kind of just hearing about deals that were closing, and they're like, yo, how the fuck that closed? Oh, this kid named Omar at the Bronx, he did it. So people would come look for me. And that's kind of how I built my name. And so just to use social media now is just kind of like to put, I've been building my name, just kind of who I am for the last 2 years. And now this year, I'm going to start implementing my business pages, like, funded or closed, or just so people can, because I still get questions about what the fuck I do. So maybe I haven't been that direct because I haven't been trying to look for business. I'm just kind of like narrate who I am, right? And then people resonate with that. And then they start just asking questions.
Which ties down to personal branding.
Which is your thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when realtors ask me, how do I create this personal brand? Mm-hmm. Well, first I say, stop branding the company that you're constantly representing, because you can be in my position, which I've changed my company 5 times. And now I look like I'm unstable, I'm all over the place.
And you've never skipped a beat.
No, no, you're just your personal brand. You are who you are, and people resonate with that, and they come to you and ask questions versus you go to them and try to beg for business.
Right.
I'd rather business chase me versus me chase business. So that's just the person that I am. You were asking me.
That's smart business. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Right. Logically speaking, I'm not. I don't want to say that I know everything in this business world or this world in whole, but I logically am thinking if people know me, they come to me, they want to work, they want. Not me want.
Right.
And that's
it changes the dynamic
down.
or the paradigm of the relationship.
Yes. Yeah. It's not like I'm just trying to get a sale. Now it's you're coming to me, so you want to do business, and we will get it done.
Which makes it easier because at least people have an interest of doing something. So it's not like you're calling people and they're in the middle of their fucking dinner and they're like, "Oh, stop calling me." Because that used to be the calls I would make. Because everything was a predictive dialer back in the day. Before social media, it was just an automatic dialer that would call, or you would call and.
And listen, I'm still doing that stuff. Don't get me wrong.
That's still so that's important because people think, oh, I just I'm the magic social media guy. That all I do is wait.
That's not my only thing. No. And it's funny because I go teach this stuff. When I was in Orlando last weekend, I was teaching them stuff, and I said that I still go door knocking and cold calling, and some of the audience members like, really, still?
They would gas me like, oh,
like
really?
Yeah, like really, damn. Like yes, I still do that because it's another tool in my belt. I'm not gonna stop. They say 7 streams of income, have that to become a millionaire. What I don't know.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. If you have more jobs, you make more money from each single one.
Right.
So why not have all those rods kind of casted and see where I catch a fish next?
Yeah.
So cold calling, door knocking, social media, Facebook ads, Realtor.com, whatever I gotta use, I'll test it out.
See where you get where you get some response in.
But most of the time, it's social media.
Okay.
So like cold calling, I suck at cold calling, so I hired someone to do that for me.
Okay.
Door knocking, I can do that because I'm a personable person. I'll come up to someone, knock on the door. Hey, what's going on? Pleasure to meet you. And I'm a realtor. I'm just doing an open house down the road. And I'm like, if you know anyone, want to come on by, I'll be right there. Okay, talk soon.
Your neighbor's selling.
Yes, and that I could do that. No one else can talk like me.
Right.
So kind of sucks when I say, hey, can you go door knocking for me? It doesn't make sense. But cold calling, they don't know me yet.
Right.
They're talking to my assistant, so she's making all the calls, and she says, "Hey, here's that's cold calling. I'm still door knocking, but social media just happens to be my bread and butter."
Right.
So now, like these developers, they reach out to me because they saw something in me
that they liked.
Others don't. So again, trust, all this fun stuff. It's your brand.
Right.
And they came to me.
Okay.
They brought me that opportunity, which I'm so grateful for, and I can't wait for the next project.
Right.
I just put a house under contract for $310,000 that came from Instagram. Another one that I just put up for $879,000
from Instagram.
That's
dope.
Yeah,
that means that you're definitely connecting with people in an authentic way, virtually. Yeah, absolutely. Because for people that want to do business with you, I feel like social media works for a couple of ways. One of the ways that it works is that the people that like you and kind of are like you tend to reach out. And the people that aren't like you, they don't like you, won't reach out, which is okay. Which is just saves time to me. Like I tell them, that's great. You don't like me, it's awesome. So we don't have to do business. But people don't understand that. Oh, but what if they don't like me? They're gonna find out eventually who you are, right? Like, so why be afraid? Just eliminate it.
Well, I have a thing. Ready? Tip. People that are watching right now.
Tip right now.
Just a tip.
All right. Just the tip is the name of this episode.
Just a tip.
All right?
Ready? This is a good tip though, so take it.
Okay.
So what I do on social media, you said, how does one stand out from the rest?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a step back real quick. Every realtor that I possibly know does or should be doing, or they do most of the time, are mailers.
Okay.
Right? What's a mailer? What's farming? It's just sending out mailers and kind of just like,
hope somebody calls me.
Please call me. That's all that a mailer is. Right. You're sending them out to people that you've done business with, or most likely you haven't yet, and you're just getting in front of them. But what happens? Get into the consumer's shoes for a second, please. What does a homeowner get? A mailer from a random dude or chick that they've never seen before, and they're trying to get a sale because the first thing that it freaking reads
is
your house looking to buy or sell, or sell your house with me, or I just sold. Yeah. That's great. That's nice. But guess what's happening? Rip, trash. And then you do it again. Rip, trash. Third time. Third month goes by. Rip, trash. And then the fourth month, rip, trash. And now the 9th, 20th time, people are like, damn, I see this person everywhere. All right, yeah, maybe, I'll hold on to them.
Right.
Damn, that's a lot of money that I just put into something like that.
A year and a half.
God, and then even more. Right, my God. So many people are saying, I've done 19 years of this stuff and I still haven't gotten something. I saw someone on Facebook post up the other day. Like, I've been doing this for 19 years, haven't got anything yet. And what do you guys do different? She was asking for advice. What I do, same approach, what I just explained, But that's the offline world, right? Sending out mailers. What I do online is this, just the tip. Go on social media, connect with people that are in your area.
Okay.
So you can go on to the hashtags. You can type in hashtag, Mount Kisco. You can type in Yonkers, NY, New Jersey. And you go and see people that are using those hashtags. Most likely they're in that area.
Right.
Most likely they're using that hashtag because they just posted a picture there. Maybe they have business there, something. They're using it.
They have an interest to be there. Yeah.
There's an interest to be there. There's no reason for someone from Japan or England to be using that hashtag. Right? Follow my drift? Right. So if that's the case, reach out to that person. It's a cold call, right? It's a cold text. It's a cold DM.
Right.
And reach out to them. Like a few of their pictures. Comment on a picture here and there. And then send them a DM. But not only just a, hey, cool page DM. Nah. Send a video
I've been getting a lot
message.
of those. Oh, okay.
So I send video messages.
Okay.
I say, hey, what's up, Omar? Pleasure to connect. I just saw that you were over in Yonkers. Looks awesome. I'm actually here right now. Yeah. Make it up. Yeah. Pleasure to connect. Listen, by the way, I saw your page. Love everything. I saw your dog also at that park. So cute. Listen. If there's anything else that I can do to help you out, I'm in real estate. I'm a brand strategist. I'm online. Whatever I can help you out with, I'm here for you. All right. So let me know. Talk soon. Boom. Done. And I send that video. Who does that? That is like one step further that so many realtors won't do, so many business people won't do. Right. But there's a few things, if you noticed, psychologically speaking now, that I said in that video. Can you point them out?
You connected with my dog. You connected where I live.
Too.
You also spoke about what you do in a non-salesy way.
For sure.
Right.
And the third thing was I said your name.
Yeah. Omar,
like, hey, what's up, Omar?
Right. So it gives you attention.
Attention, yes, but you also know that this is not automated.
Right.
I didn't just automate this shit 3 years ago and just sending it out to random people. Right. I just did it right now on the spot, and I tailored it to your fit.
Right.
I know you have a dog. I know you're in Yonkers. I know your name is Omar. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, Omar, I'm here for you, Omar. Right. Talk soon, Omar.
Yeah. It keeps engaged.
Yeah. Keep saying people's say that stuff. So I do make sure to say their names a few times. I talk about one of their posts, and it's relatable to them. Now they're going to look at it because who the hell gets video messages, right? No one. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, wow, this person really just took their time to go ahead and reach out to me.
Yeah.
You don't know what can happen from that.
Right.
I'll tell you my success story, what happened from that. I did that once to a lady named Karen. Never knew who she was, but she just so happened to be in my area.
How did you get it? How did you just find that person?
Went into hashtag, typed in Hillsborough, New Jersey, which is a nice little farmland area.
Right.
Reached out, commented, liked a few of her posts, and she commented back on one of mine saying, it's so funny you engaged with my stuff. I have a 4-bed, 3-bath right now. It's a cul-de-sac, 1 acre of land over in Hillsborough. My husband and I were just talking about it. Would love to chat sometime. That was about maybe 3 years ago. That was the first time
chat happened. Yeah.
Yes. About 9 months ago, I helped her sell her house and helped her buy a house in a total of $900,000. Helped her buy for $410, helped her sell for for $390, and helped her sell for $510.
Really? Okay.
So it works.
Just from
was just from that.
Right, but it's
Crazy,
consistency too, right? Like you can't just every shot is not going to go in, right?
Well,
so you got to keep taking shots, and
taking shots.
But I believe, I think that's the secret sauce where you see the people rise, and some people just kind of like it didn't happen fast enough, and
not proactive enough.
Yeah, what do you do with that? With the client tells you that, well, Ed, I've been doing what you said for the last 2 months. I'm not rich yet.
Keep going. Like what? Okay.
But do you get that conversation?
Sure, of course. Because people are impatient.
Yeah.
If you're an entrepreneur and you're impatient, don't be an entrepreneur. Work at, I don't know, ShopRite or somewhere.
I have a saying: if you want to make everybody happy, sell ice cream. Yeah, because come on, bro. Like serious? Omar, how'd you say that? Because it's true.
It is. It sucks, but it's the truth that people need to kind of hear. If you want to be a really true entrepreneur, it does take a lot of investment, takes a lot of time sometimes.
How much belief does it take?
Oh, a lot of belief.
You got to believe.
Even when it comes down to the passion.
Even when shit rolls backwards on your face, you're like, I don't care. Maybe this part didn't make, but I believe that's the unspoken life of the entrepreneur, because I believe entrepreneurship has been made to sound sexy and cool, which I believe it is. But I also know that it takes work. And I think that's always been my friction with a lot of people. Like, I remember I posted something about, this is a while ago, but I got a lot of comments, so I have to mention it. I was saying something along the lines, and between the 40 to 45-year-old, 47-year-old loan originators, at this point, I'm making the most money. And you know how many, and I was giving shout out to some of my guys that I know were like, you know, in the top tier. And mad young guy, oh, well, I'm coming and I'm this and I'm that. And I'm like, yo, if I stopped and went to sleep today for 10 years and then woke up, maybe. But I told him the problem is that I don't stop. Every day I'm going. Every day I'm going. So hurry up.
Yeah,
like,
well said.
Figure out how to fucking triple it up because that's the only way it's going to work. And I thought it was funny, but yeah, that certain things grab people's attention.
Yes.
And I think entrepreneurship, I think I posted this yesterday, is almost like a sport, right? So either you're a spectator watching or you're playing. And I love the competition. I love it. I'm like, and not in a bad way, but it just keeps, you know, steel sharpening steel. Like, you know, you want to be around people that are excelling in their fields because I believe that there's a synergy. If you look hard enough, there's always a synergy. I think there's too much individualism right now where people are like, no, you know, only I could be a realtor. I'm like, no, man. Everybody, we were just sitting with the mover guy, right? Joey, you're a realtor. I'm a lender. He's a mover. There's synergy there. You just gotta look for it. But I don't think enough people are doing that. I think people are just looking for my shot. Sometimes helping the other guy make his shot will get you your shot. And I don't know, what's your experience with that? Because again, you're young, you're Insta famous, and you're a realtor. So what about when you meet other realtors that are kind of like in your vicinity, and what kind of relationships do you have?
Just, well, going to your first question, it was everything has to be viewed as a stepping stone.
Okay.
Regardless if it's a good experience, bad experience. But the entrepreneur themselves, they know, that there's going to be a lot of stepping stones that you're going to fall through. It's going to crack, you're going to fall, and you're going to bust your knee, and it's going to
you can be like, yo, I just don't go that way again.
I don't want to go that way again. Screw that material, because I ain't walking on that shit again.
There you go.
I know it's fragile, but now you know what is fragile and what's not. So don't go down that way, go this way, figure out new paths, figure out who people are. I trust a person like that. I don't trust that person that's promised me X, Y, Z and has not delivered X.
Yeah.
You know, so you learn as time progresses. But to the students, reach out to me. They are impatient. Ed, it's not working. Ed, I want it faster. I believe in physics. I say as fast as it goes up, it will go down. Believe that.
Okay.
And this is the same thing that I apply. And, you know, I never want to talk badly about anything or anyone. But as fast as you go up, you will go down. I've seen it happen too many times. Pokemon Go, I've seen it happen.
Come and go.
Yeah, come and go. It just, everyone's talking about it. The whole world. And all of a sudden it dies.
Right.
You know, and same thing now, Clubhouse app.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Good segue.
Yes. Clubhouse app. Which again is a newer thing in the early 2021 and so on and so forth. You know, the first day I was reached out to about it, one of my followers reached out, have you heard of this app before? I said, no, kind of just brushed it off.
Right.
Next day I get it from another follower. Hey, have you heard of this app before? I said, okay, what is it about? So I did my research and I realized 2 days later, everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
Everyone. But the same time, it was around that time that I realized because everyone's talking about it, it's going to die soon.
Okay.
And everyone saw, no, complete opposite. No, this thing is the best. It's amazing. It's the up and coming thing. But so many people were talking about it and it got so much love in a very short time. Yeah. It wasn't going to survive. And now it's not surviving. I know it for a fact it's not surviving.
They're trying to monetize already.
Well, it's too early.
Right.
It's too early to monetize off of a concept that just was released. Yeah. Play with it for a while. TikTok, a beautiful platform that started off as Musical.ly, right? And then slowly ventured off into and became TikTok. Right. But TikTok wasn't like, oh, we're getting engagement. We're getting people that are loving our stuff. Yeah. Let's monetize. No, they took some time. Actually, they did the opposite. They gave a lot before asking for anything. TikTok gave a lot of exposure. You can post a picture of your watch or something, or a video of your watch doing something silly for 10 seconds, and you can get millions of views. You can get 4 views. Yeah. But you don't know which one you're going to get. Right. TikTok was just saying, hey, here's exposure.
We're pushing it out. Yeah.
It's like a billboard advertisement saying, you want a free billboard for the next month?
Highway. Yeah.
For free. No cost. Yeah. Yeah. You would be silly to say no. Right. Versus Clubhouse. Now it's like, oh, well, people are using our platform. You know, let's start monetizing right away. too fast. You're growing too fast, and that's why
I heard a lot of talk about Clubhouse where they were saying, "Oh, hopefully it gets bought out." But I think that's everybody's.
To be honest, I was hoping LinkedIn would have bought them.
Yeah,
that would have been a beautiful segment to say, "Hey, look, Clubhouse doing really well. It's a cool concept. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea, but you're trying to compete with a handful of social media platforms today that are thriving in social media world.
Right.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. You have a handful. Snapchat
that are the juggernauts.
Yes,
right,
but then you get other platforms. Do you know how many social media apps there are?
No.
Over 5,000.
Wow.
Why is it that we only know a handful? So you, as a new app, you're trying to focus and like
try to
how can I get in there?
How do I get in here? Yeah.
Okay, you figured it out. But I was really hoping that a concept like LinkedIn would have said, you are used for business, because a lot of people go into this Clubhouse for,
to start talks.
Talks and stuff of that sort. That would have been a beautiful thing to throw into LinkedIn to show, look, LinkedIn now has a cool new.
We have speakers now.
That's what I was hoping for, But Clubhouse said, no, let's go our own way. Which I give you props, but unfortunately, I personally just don't think it's going to go that far.
So we're not a fan of Clubhouse. Just
no, not offending. No, never. Ever.
So what's your go-to? Instagram?
Instagram is the go-to.
Okay.
TikTok is my go-to.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the platforms.
It just
right
becomes
now.
a bit daunting where you have so many platforms. Like you can only be effective in so many places, right? So I guess where would you tell people to go right now?
Instagram.
Instagram always?
Instagram always. I don't see Instagram dying anytime soon, but it will die. It will definitely die. Just
they
like
all die or
everything.
evolve.
Yes.
Right.
And it will one day. But to really be out there, to be on the most relevant platform, there's a reason why commercials aren't saying, hey, follow us on Twitter or LinkedIn.
Right.
There's a reason why they're not saying, go follow us on Twitch.
Right.
Those platforms aren't the places for consumers to go to look and study a concept or study a company.
Yeah.
But Instagram is a digital business card.
Right.
That is just everything is on there. Highlights, bio, profile picture, how many people are following you, what kind of videos, things are you posting.
You get a lot of content with a little effort.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can see everything you want to see about a person really quickly and scroll up, and it's linear, so you don't get lost. Like I go into Facebook sometimes, I feel lost because you have so much shit jumping at it. You're like, what the fuck? And even TikTok. TikTok to me was like almost like violent. When it opens up, you don't know what you're seeing.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, so you can only open it in private, right?
But why I like TikTok is because it gives you that amount of exposure. And if you haven't noticed, on TikTok, it gives you two options where you can go ahead and where you can have people funnel to. You can have them funnel to your YouTube or your Instagram.
I didn't know that. See,
not LinkedIn, not Facebook, not anything else. It's YouTube or Instagram.
Okay.
Why? Yeah. YouTube is prosperous, owned by Google, right? They have their thing going on. So YouTube is always going to be a thing.
They're a monster in the room, right?
And then Instagram, it's that platform that just people go to find out about someone.
Which is crazy because Instagram did something a little aggressive in my opinion. It was before when you would do a TikTok video and it had a TikTok watermark. Yep. You'd be able to put it on Instagram. I think they stopped that.
Not that they stopped it. They're just not giving you love for it.
They lower it. Okay.
See, 10 years ago, when Instagram was like a
baby,
and they wanted exposure and they wanted to be talked about as the big people, Instagram was giving out a lot of exposure. For every 10 followers you had, you were probably getting 8 likes, 9 people viewing it. Right. But today, it's a pay-to-play era. Okay. So if you want still those people to view your stuff, you have to pay a little bit money for that.
Ad
sucks.
spend,
it's unfortunate ad spend.
Yeah.
But now, organically, you're lucky if you get 1 or 2 out of 10 people seeing your stuff.
Really?
And then on top of that, if you introduce another platform to that platform, meaning taking TikTok video and putting on Instagram,
they lower it down.
It's like walking into a Keller Williams office with an EXP shirt.
It's hostile. It's fucking hostile. It's fucking hostile.
Do not take that thing off.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that is to give that analogy.
When you do your classes, you go over this stuff with people.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, no. I just want to give people context if they want to contact you about this because I think it's really valuable.
Everything I talk about, you name it, I talk about on social media.
Okay.
The hacks, the lead gen strategies, which I gave one before, right? Just the tip. We talk about exposure, organic exposure, more followers, engagement, shout outs.
Okay. What if a client could only be on 3 platforms?
Okay.
Which ones should they be on?
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. All right.
Yes.
So Facebook is out.
I don't want to say.
It's a gorilla, right?
Yes.
But it takes, I think, a lot of effort and a lot of time to cultivate Facebook.
If you're giving me only 3 to work with, I would say
those are the 3 best bang for your buck.
Yes, there's a reason why Facebook bought Instagram. They saw what damage it does and what it's going to do, and that's another partial reason as to why it's a pay-to-play era. Facebook has been like that.
Right.
You want exposure, pay for it with a Facebook ad.
Right.
So now that Instagram is owned by them, of course, the same methodology is going to be applied.
Right. And now YouTube, you're saying it used to be just long form, but now they come up with some short form segments now, right? I heard LinkedIn is taking down the stories. I don't know if you heard about that. Why do you think that is? I don't think it was a good idea. I think LinkedIn. I don't know if you saw. I put a video up the other day about cold slamming, and you know what a cold slam is?
No.
A cold slam is basically what you don't do. A cold slam is when somebody calls and just, hey man, Ed, nice to see you. Look, I have this course for you. You're like, well, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Yeah, that's a cold slam. So LinkedIn to me is the area of the most cold slams.
Yes.
Every inbox thing is never it's never how you doing.
No.
It's like, yo, you want to do leads? You want to do? I'm like, yo, I just want to say hi.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So LinkedIn to me is like a cold slam box.
I don't like LinkedIn for that reason.
Because people, I've tried to contact people on LinkedIn and they'll tell me, yo, I get so many job recruiting emails that I don't even look at that shit no more.
It's salesy. It's salesy. You don't get hit with that right away. Right. That's why I like Instagram because you don't know what DM you're gonna get.
Right.
You're gonna get a business opportunity. You can get someone commenting on your new shoes. You can get someone flirting with you. You have no idea which angle you're gonna get hit with, and you're okay with it.
Right.
Because it's Instagram.
You're there for that.
But LinkedIn, I can tell you right now, if I open up my phone, the first message I'm gonna get is from some, I don't know, John Smith, and he's gonna be offering me something.
Yeah.
Not open to it.
Not even a hi.
No.
Never hi. Yeah. It's always straight into it, and that's cold slamming. That's a term that we used back in the day.
So what I want to say about the platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, why those are so strong, and those will continue to be the power dominant platforms, go-tos that every realtor should be on.
Right.
A lot of exposure on there. You know what kind of content you're probably expected to get.
Right.
I'd prefer that over a platform like LinkedIn or Facebook, where it gets very political and very.
Well, Gary Vee talks about LinkedIn is very organic.
I think it's a lot about that, and you know what?
I think he owns LinkedIn.
I'm kind of waiting for the day to be like, oh, Gary was right about LinkedIn. He also said, by the way,
Clubhouse?
said, yes. Oh, Clubhouse is sorry, Gary, if you're seeing this.
Shout out to Gary.
Cool. I like you, but
we don't have problems with you, bro.
But we got some talking to do.
Yeah, Clubhouse is a new place to be. Blah, blah, blah.
It's okay.
Now he's on Discord heavy with his V friends, and
a platform I don't know about.
Yeah, me either. But he moves around. I mean, the thing is, he's at a point in his career where he can move the fucking ecosystem, right? He has so many followers that, yo, I'll make this shit. So then I'm always kind of looking at shit kind of sideways. I'm like, well, what's his interest in that? Why is he plugging it so hard?
Of course.
TikTok. Used to plug TikTok real hard. Who got the media contract for TikTok in the United States?
Who?
Vayner.
Oh, Vayner. Really?
Shout out Vayner, I'm watching. Yeah, but I don't own TikTok. Well, he didn't, but I don't know if that was the angle he was going with, but
There's always a reason.
And ended up working out pretty good for him, and if you Google it, it's a pretty big contract, you know what I'm saying? So that becomes the thing. Like, you're looking online, you don't know why people are saying things, and I think for most people, there's so much information, they don't know how to discern real information from salesy information.
Of course.
And I'm not using that whole thing with Gary as like he was trying to steer people, because TikTok is super effective, right? And he was such a proponent that they're like, yo, let's fuck with this guy because his brand association gives us credibility, right? So that's a win. But for the up and comers, they'll be like, yo, Ed, man, I tried doing this for like 30 days, and when I first started, I knew I gave myself a year. I was like, I had to do a year of laying this shit out because nothing is fast, you know? And then year 2, I looked at where I was at and I was like, all right, I have enough of this type of information. Now I want to gear it to this type of information. And it wasn't until late year 2 that I ran an ad when the pandemic hit. That's when the first time I ran an ad, because I knew, like the way I knew that other funding sources were out of business, I still had funding sources. So I had to get that out really quickly. And I remember meeting up with my camera guy, and like the dam, Conseco Dam, which is like this big open area, because when the pandemic first hit, you had to be in big open areas, and we cut our first videos out there. And I remember that because I saw it as opportunity. I saw everybody's home, everybody's on their phone, everybody's on their computer. Like, no, where can you go? You can't go to the sporting events. You can't, like, it was crazy the amount of usage that went up. So fucking fortunes were made and fortunes were lost during that time. During that time, what did you end up doing? Like, what did you end up doing to kind of like to pivot? or to adapt?
Didn't even pivot. I continued just doing exactly what I was doing.
Keep going harder.
All of a sudden, I got more students. I got more people that
people
reached
were
out.
looking.
Because they realized that, I can't go anywhere. I can't meet with people in person. I have no other choice but to be on social media right now.
Yeah.
Ed, how do I do it?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're curious? I will teach you. Trust me, I will. And you're not too late to the train. Don't worry.
Get in line.
Yeah. But there is a long line for sure because people are starting to think, oh, wow, Instagram, social media actually does work. So I need to learn it, especially during the COVID times where everyone was stuck inside.
Everyone was home. Everyone was home. That was a crazy time. And like I said, a lot of people that used to like kind of shit on social media all of a sudden became like, yo, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And I was like, well, this is what I've been doing. And this is what I'm going to do.
That's it.
And good luck with that.
That's
it. But even then, they didn't want to adapt. They were like, nah, it's gonna come around. And then like what happens is once you start moving, you get momentum. Once you get momentum, things get easier because you're already kind of used to it. It's like working out. The first day, everything hurts. The next day, not so bad. A weekend, you're like, all right, I've recovered. I can. This is part of my fucking routine. You kind of get used to it. And I think everything is about momentum. And I think people, they don't want to go past that first week to build any type of momentum. And God forbid you see any little bit of success on anything, because that's when you get reinvigorated, right? You're like, oh, yeah, this fucking works. I remember one of my boys called me up. He lives in fucking Ohio, of all places. He calls me up. He used to live in the Bronx. I used to coach his son in Little League. Yo, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up, George? He's like, yo, man, I got this call from Quicken, and they want to refinance my house. But I saw you on Facebook. I said, my boy always doing it. Fuck you, Quicken. He called me. So, but that became a thing for me. I was like, oh, this fucking thing works. Because I never, that's just an angle I never thought of.
Yeah.
But that's when you start really getting like become a believer and shit, right? Like little conversations like that.
The second you get a result,
the
one that you've been hoping for since the first day you said, let me try this out.
Well, what about the ones like you didn't even think about, right? Like this other lady, I forgot her name right now, but she lives in Florida. She's a realtor. Has some pieces of property in Brooklyn. And she ends up calling me, has a property in Brooklyn worth a couple million. She needed about $1 million. We ended up doing the loan. She has to fly up to close. It's a commercial transaction. And I tell her, I said, yo, thanks for thinking of me. I said, yo, but I did your loan like 10 years ago. How'd you remember me? She goes, remember when we sat the last closing, you told me to go on LinkedIn to follow you? I don't remember that shit. But I was like, okay. She was like, well, I follow you. And every time you talk about lending, I think about you. So when I thought about I need $1 million, Omar's doing shit. Like I talk about some of my transactions to give like narrative and context. She was like, I called you because you told me to. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And then, like I have a lot of those little stories that it's kind of make you a believer, but I'm kind of sharing it because people just don't think, they think, oh, I spent $10 on ad spend. I should get $100 in ROI. I'm like, that's not how it works, bro. Yeah.
Well, you just said this, Toma, top of mind association.
Yeah.
Right.
And Toma in Spanish means Toma, like smack.
Correct. Toma. I was gonna say that.
There you go. Yeah, Toma.
Yes.
So but these were like, we can talk about theory.
Yes.
But application beats theory every time. Like when until it happens, then you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like you get invigorated and you're like, yo, I'm on the right track. I'm not fucking crazy. I didn't just dump 50,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you start thinking, you're like, yo, you start like, maybe it works. Am I being egotistical? Maybe do I like to see myself on TV? Yep. And then all of a sudden you start getting ROI, and then you're like, yeah, this shit fucking works. And it gets crazy.
That's it.
So when your clients get like their first experience of Toma, of being I'm gonna start using that of Toma. What do they call you? They start bugging out. Yo, it just fucking works. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They realize that it's consistency, but you can't build Toma overnight.
You can't build Toma, baby.
You can't build Toma.
Yeah. I like that.
No, it's progress.
All right. I think we keep going, but I think we're gonna wrap here. All right, guys. So look at the camera and tell them where they can find you for what they want to find you for, right? Like, so research for real estate is one thing, for coaching is another thing.
Yeah. So then I got to take my jacket off already.
Here's the shirt.
Ed Stulak.
So
you can follow me on there, Ed Stulak, Instagram, YouTube, you name it.
EdStulak.com.
EdStulak.com.
Right.
You name it. So
that's for coaching. On Instagram. But everything funnels through there, real estate, whatever.
Yeah. IGREcoaching.com for all my coaching side of things. But social media, reach out to me. I love video messages. I'll get on a FaceTime with you to chat. Like, I'm personable like that.
That's awesome.
It builds rapport, builds trust.
He's approachable, guys.
Hell yeah. Approach me. Reach out. You got problems, reach out to me. I'm a problem solver.
Toma.
Perfect time.
All right, guys. Thank you from me to you. Hopefully I have Ed back on the show. We can go a little deeper, but I'm so grateful that he came on today. And I'm pumped. I want to do some toma.
Toma, baby. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.